my battery died again, so I had to let's follow on from that video. So yeah, talking about ghosts. Yeah, you don't know what you're seeing when you see a ghost. I mean, I know there's lots of different types of ghosts. There's some that even speak and stuff. I've heard a ghost that speaks. Um, but then again, now that I know that I'm God, I feel like everything that all the ghostly experiences that I've had might actually just be my higher self, and therefore, I would want to listen to other people's ghostly experiences. I also don't trust the what's it most haunted show, because if the most I love watching the most haunted show, and I know they go to lots of haunted houses and try to detect ghosts. And well, if my higher self was just following the cameras around and sort of throwing stones about, I wouldn't be surprised, because that sounds like kind of something that I would do. So I wouldn't trust that show because it's on TV and my higher self wants to be on TV. So if she's just following the camera crew around and trying to do things for that to show off to the camera, then I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, when it comes to other people, I did speak to someone in the jacuzzi last week, and she believed in ghosts, and she was telling me some ghostly experiences. But all her ghostly experiences were of seeing her child seeing her granddad and knowing exactly what kind of hat he wore, and knowing which chair he mostly sat on and stuff. So but yeah, with that's just an image. An image could just be things through history. So I guess I would like to do more research into ghosts, because I don't know I don't think I've heard enough stories of other people who've gone through ghostly experiences to be able to really say what the truth is. Um, but yeah, when I'm coming to thinking about the gods and how many, I don't think it's about how my age might, because I'm trying to work out if I'm 14 billion, which is because of that Snicker bar, or if that was just the time that I came to, came to the Milky Way. There's a few other ones that I like, and I'm sure I could easily have done a box that I could have easily encouraged the people who made that box to put more varieties. I know there's things like the Wisp and and the Twirl or something, or I don't know. They're not really Cadbury's, are they? I don't really know how it was, but I'm sure I could have got more boxes. The Quality Streets has loads of chocolates in there, so I don't know, but I feel like what I know. Also, I heard the rumors that they're going to get rid of the Bounty bars. Like, oh no! But maybe that was just promotional thing to try and sell more boxes. Um, you know, um, don't get rid of the Bounty. I like the Bounty, but yeah, I don't know. My higher self does things, and people react to help me in a way, but I feel like is this really helping me? Me giving you information, is this really helping me? No, it's helping you because you probably want this information. So I don't even see this information as information that helps me. I feel like this is information that my higher self has given people, and people have adapted to, or maybe it's through the spirit, or maybe it's through my higher self. I don't know. There's a difference between my higher self and the spirit. And I don't know. I can't tell the difference between who does what for what, but things happen for a reason, and you can look at the evidence through things that I like chocolate bars. And if I'm trying to work out if I've attached myself to a sun. Suns live for a very long time. Earth's sun is massive, so it's going to live for, it's going to live way longer than 14 billion years, I believe. And well, if I've done 70 suns, then there's no way it can be 70 or 14 billion, because that's 14 billion could be how long a sun lasts for. And well, if I've done 70 of them, then you would expect me to be 70 times 14 billion. So I definitely that definitely proves that I haven't lived for the full length of 70 suns. But then again, coming to think about it, I feel like it's not about the sun. It's actually about the planets attached to the sun. You attach yourself to a sun because that's where the souls are. But technically, you would only attach yourself to a sun if there's a planet with life, or with a planet that has capability of life. And we're not talking life as in sharks. I feel like I've heard things that Jupiter, or one of the planets, might have water on, and there might be sort of sea life in there. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but I know that it probably does have water. I know Mars. I've heard reports that Mars has once had water on it. Well, if something has water on it, it likely it might have sea life or on it. But then again, even sea life need air, don't they? Don't even seals, don't they need to come to air? Like my fish, you see them coming to the surface to drink the air, and well, if the air is not there because of the temperature not being right or something. So I don't know. I need to know more stuff, and I'm trying to create a religion, but I want to base it on as much evidence and facts. And I if I don't know something, I don't want to just say it, but at the same time, I feel like I have no choice because people aren't talking to me, and maybe they're not talking to me because supposed to come up with some sort of information, and if I give whatever I say, that's something I don't know. I don't know why people are ignoring me, but that's another question. If I'm God, surely my higher self would be able to tell me why people are ignoring me. And well, when I ask her why, it is maybe to give some information like this, like for me to create a false religion and see the difference between how much truth there is within this religion that I'm creating. But yeah, I do believe that Mars had water on it once, and according to Google, it evaporated because there was no magnetic field to it. But why would it have magnetic field at one point and not at another? Um, like what made it lose its water? Because there's scenes that they said that they've seen evidence that there was evidence of stream life. Do you know if it's stream life or maybe it was just wind? And maybe it was wind that's caused the rocks to form in a certain way that looks like a stream. I mean, technically, if a big gust of wind, a heavy storm or something comes and it moves rocks and particles and stuff, it can actually look like it's caused by a river. So maybe it wasn't actually water, but if another planet has water, I do believe that there is another planet that has water. Then it probably was water, but why was it there once and not there now? And if it was there once, did it have life? And then there's all these questions like, if it has life, like those are souls. Fish, sea, dolphins have souls. So what are the souls also in the sun's resting in the sun when they're dead and stuff? So that all brings up loads of questions that I don't know, but I'm trying to figure it out. And I guess the answer is yes. I'm time traveling, yes, but there's a lot of planets that are evolving around the same time that the time complex that I'm in. The galaxy is up to Pluto, and if there is life on other planets, the souls would rest in the same place. What makes them go over there in the first place, I don't know. But it's just what it is. And then there's also the question of the whole men are from Mars and women are from Venus. You would say that that's a link to people being from God and men being from a planet, but Venus is a planet. And but yeah, I feel like when it comes to Venus, there might have once been life on there. If Venus was in the same position as it is in Earth, it would have the right temperatures and it might actually have life on it. Do I think I've ever made a timeline on Venus? No, I don't believe I do. My reason for believing that is because I feel like this is like new to me. This sun, I don't think I was here. I don't believe that I was here when Venus was alive. I don't know enough about this solar system. It's called a solar system. I think that's what you call it. Solar, but that's like so LA or so low system. But yeah, I don't believe that I was here. Oh, my nose has got itchy. I don't believe that I was here when I when I when if Venus had life on it, I don't believe that I was the one that was involved in that. If I was involved in that, then surely I would have a better accurate timing as to when Earth would be ready. Likewise, if Earth died and humans weren't able to form life or livable habitat on Mars, then what's going to happen is the planets. I don't know if the sun's getting worse and worse. But yeah, if Earth dies before Mars is ready, I think what happens is that all the souls just sleep as coding in the sun and wait until life begins again. And if that happens, does that mean that humans are going to go back to being dinosaurs? I wouldn't say so. I feel like once they've achieved a certain amount of intelligence, a certain amount of they could only enter into a body that has a similar intelligence, and dinosaurs do not have a similar intelligence to humans. And therefore, if say I leave the wait between Earth and Mars is so long, like I don't know, billions of years. If it's potentially 40 billion years, I don't know if I can sleep for 40 billion years. Maybe I can, but maybe some of the weaker gods can't sleep for 40 billion years, in which case they need to go to a different sun. They need to start creating life on it. Maybe I can. I don't know. I feel like I definitely have done planets where I just move from one one planet to the next. But maybe the planets were a bit closer together than they are on this one. I believe that I've helped clean out the place and get rid of comets in Earth's sort of region. But I don't believe that I don't believe I placed it unless I did, but I don't think I did, because I don't think I was here. I think, it's just, you see what you have, and you have to work with what you have. That's how all the animals on Earth are formed. You don't didn't actually just ping and make them. You work with what you've got and try and think, well, I want this one to be a bit more red. Oh, look, that one's got a bit of tinge of red. Let's see if we can work out where the red gene came from and see if we can exaggerate it and form stripes or something. Like, I think it's creators census. A census is kind of like a survey where you ask lots of people questions, where you ask the animals, like, say, what's like, you look at what's being happened, what Earth is forming, and then you try and kind of come up with a compromise on what you can achieve through that. Let's make the neck longer for a giraffe and stuff like this. It's a compromise between reality versus what you want, or just something that's different, or I don't know. It's like a long thing, not just a ping, like Christians sometimes say. Ping Adam, ping Eve. But yeah, and then I'm thinking, that's a big question. That if Venus was once like Earth and had a different god working in its timeline, but when Venus died, she couldn't wait for Earth, because maybe the gap was too long, and she couldn't sleep for that long. I feel like if you sleep for too long, sometimes you don't wake up, because it's like a lack of will. I feel like there's a lack of it. When you sleep, you kind of dream, and if you fall further and further into the dream, you might just lose the will to want to continue. And so I feel like, although I've done 70 timelines, and some of the timelines might have involved moving from one planet to the next, because that's what I've believed. I have believed that it's possible to move from one planet to the next, but at the same time, I've also looked at the distance between Earth and Mars, and it's a very big distance. And if it's only moving a few, I don't know how much closer to the sun each year it's moving. I don't know how much closer it's moving each year, but it could take a very long time. It could take billions of years. And can I rest for that long? Maybe I can, maybe I can't. But other gods, newer gods, someone who's doing a god planet for the first time probably can't. And so maybe there was a god who did Venus. But then there is the question, because she would have, if souls can just rest in the sun until the next planet is ready, then that would beg the question: are some souls here actually from Venus? I know the devil, my devil character, the Gaga, she promotes the Venus, Aphrodite lady and stuff, and she did that kind of near the beginning. But the thing is, because she represents the devil, she's picking up on my higher self's need to reduce the population massively, and getting people to worship other gods, as a sort of test. Do you want other gods, or do you want the actual God that you have? That's kind of a test to see who she wants. She wants people that are going to stay loyal to her. And I think not lying as well. Well, lying in some aspects is good, but not lying when it comes to her. If I send you off to different planets, I don't want you to go off and start lying to your people, because your people are going to end up very, very confused if you start creating religions saying that this is 100% truth, whilst also not telling them that actually maybe you are wrong about some things. It's really important to stick as close to the truth as possible. And if you don't know something, state it. Make sure that people are aware that this isn't the truth, that this is just your truth based on the few things that you've seen. And so that, if I was to create gods, I would make sure that I choose souls that can tell the difference between when they're saying something that's 100% truth and when they're saying something that's truth that they believe in but not backed up on huge amounts of stuff. It's very important that you can tell the difference. And um, if if I don't know if there was life on Venus at, when it was a long, long time ago, millions of years ago, if the Earth's sun is 14 billion years old. I keep getting million, and I keep saying the word thousand, billion, and million. I keep saying them all wrong. So if I say billion when I mean million, or million when I start saying, or thousand when I start saying million, or I say words like that wrong. So just be aware of that. But if there was life on Venus 7 billion years ago, which is likely, and maybe the timeline, or there was a god that created a timeline, maybe the timeline only lasted a few million years, maybe she was able to take the souls, maybe she was able to take all the souls and take them onto a planet, but she would have rejected some. I feel like that's not every soul you make turns into a god, and the ones that don't turn into a god probably do just rest as data. But then that's the question, because if life starts forming on Earth, would the souls that got rejected from that planet, and say the god is left, are they going to just come back as dinosaurs? Well, if you've evolved to a certain point, a certain level, where you can no longer, like, I don't believe a human soul can enter into a butterfly. I don't believe that's possible, because human souls are so much more intelligent than a butterfly that they don't deserve to be a butterfly. And likewise, if Venus did create loads of souls, but only, say 100 of them made it to become gods, or say 10 of them made, I don't know how many become gods from it, only 10 of them made it to be gods, and there's a whole bunch of souls that might actually be left over from that planet. And then I think about this world, and someone created Chat GPT, and the idea of it and the coding behind it, so that there's some very smart people here, which I'm not really seeing, because I'm focusing on the religious people, and the religious people are kind of stupid. But yeah, it is making me wonder. There seems to be a bunch of people who know about me, and yet I've managed to convince thousands of people to ignore me. I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why, or what information you're getting or anything. But it feels like there is a group of people that might actually be from, maybe this is a possibility, could be. I'm trying to say it and see if it sounds correct, that there might be souls here that are actually from Venus, like that saying, some men are from Mars, women are from Venus, but it might not be necessarily the sex. It might just be saying that the ones that are most likely to be gods before might be from, there might be some people here that are not from this planet, but from that planet. um, and because with the singers, I feel like they're all born on this one. All the singers and celebrities are all born on this earth. When the earth brings its people round, it takes all the souls and does it in the same order. But what does it do if there's some souls that are actually leftovers from another planet, say Venus? Would it wait until a god comes, wait until intelligence rises to a certain point, and then says, "Oh, look, these bodies are a similar match to the souls that are on that planet, and maybe there have been some souls that come from that planet and are on this planet, and have a much better connection with the spirit and stuff, because they are actually far older." I don't know. I feel like I don't know everyone. I only know what I see online. I see the singers, I see the celebrities, and they're loved. And people who are loved, generally loved, because their spirit or conscience feels like more attached to them. Like a singer would get huge amounts of people supporting them, because I feel like they've come to this planet, they've had kids, and they formed a line, and they've formed alliances, spiritual, deep alliances, and they get all this support because their kids kind of feel. But I'm wondering, there seems to be a bunch of people who have stopped these people from contacting me, like Robbie Williams. Why, when I made a message to him, saying that I really like him and I want to meet up, and then suddenly he had a fourth baby that just came up like a day later, and then he blocked me, and I don't know, but what is that? Just did he do that out of choice, or did he do that because there's some people higher up threatening, saying we're going to kill you if you don't do this and stuff? And then I'm then thinking, like, who are these people? And I, in a way, I feel like they're different from what's on Earth, and maybe that's it's an idea. It's a possibility, and it's an idea, and I haven't got anything to back it up, but because it's making me think what will happen if I birth a million gods. If this timeline, my higher self is focused on trying to create gods on this timeline. Now, if my higher self is successful, providing I go through a horrible tribulation of 10 years, which is not, it's 11 years now, and I fucking don't know how long it's going to be. Maybe it's going to be another 10 years. I just don't know. But whatever the plan is, she's she's looking at the Milky Way. She's seeing how many suns there are. She's seeing how many gods she can possibly make, and I think she's just using me to try and make as many gods as possible through this timeline. They're not ready now, so don't kill yourself thinking that you're going to get there now. You've gone a long way to go. Um, but hey, if your soul is just going to die and then rest for 3,000 years and then come back, live one more life where you will learn about things that are not information that's not on this planet right now. But if you come back then, and then you're ready. Maybe you are just one or two more lives away from being a god. You just need the right information. Hence, you need to sleep for a very long time until Earth has the right information. And because there are a lot of souls, maybe the timeline is going to be very long. In which case, there's going to be quite a lot of more souls. So, but her goal, I think, is to create gods for the Milky Way. That's what her god is. She doesn't care about all the crap that goes on here, but she does care if you destroy the planet, because then she's got nothing to work with. So I think that's why, and right now, the need is to reduce the population, because she's looking at all the rubbish that people are creating and thinking, where's all this rubbish going to go? It's just going to help create toxics, make the planet, it's killing the planet, and the seas, and it's killing everything, and the atmosphere as well, and making people hate each other because of negativity, because of the planet feels like it's dying, and the people are feeling the consciousness of this and stuff. But her goal is to create gods, and I feel like there is a group of people that seem to think that they have more information than me, hence why they're ignoring me. And maybe those souls are from Venus, which is why they're not famous, because they don't really have that much of a connection here, because maybe they're they didn't get to be dinosaurs because they didn't have the kind of intelligence of what a dinosaur, that they had an intelligence of something far more civilized. I would never be allowed to be a dinosaur, because that's such a massive change between them and me. And likewise, they wouldn't be allowed to be a dinosaur, because they're lizards. Dinosaurs are lizards, and there's not the intelligence there. But if there was some souls left over, and in the sun, and those have started coming back now, and those are the people that have managed to convince thousands of people to ignore me, because that the longer you wait, the more information I give. But at the same time, I'm angry. I'm so angry about this that I kind of want to, after I finish with this sun, I just want to forget about the Milky Way. Like the chess player that goes round just lots of different chessboards. That's how I feel. I feel like I want to leave here, and just leave the MW, and go to just anywhere else. Like if the plan is to just create loads and loads of gods through my suffering, I feel like I won't like the gods that I do end up creating, because I feel so. That's how I feel. I feel so abandoned, and so I need to stop this. The video is getting too long.